All right. We should be streaming. We should be up and running. Microphone check 1, 2, 3. All right. We got everything set up. So just waiting for this to show up on my end. Got my chat going. All right. Let's check it out. All right, this is like super delayed. Let me go ahead and close this and reopen it so I can see my chat. All right, cool. We can see the chat. We're here to go. So yeah, here we are. So what I did to kind of make life a little bit easier is I'm looking at the chat from my iPhone. That way I ain't got to worry about, accidentally clicking on the wrong thing or anything like that. So first person in the house, we got the man about tech, aka Viper, saying thumbnail game is tight here. Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to step it up just a little bit here, but thanks for noticing. Also, we got Jordan coming through. We got Gwendolyn G coming through. Good to see you here. We also got Home Rapid Repair. Will we ever learn who this Apple model is in these promo photos? I don't know who she is, but hey, I hope Apple gave her the bag because she is in all the promotional materials. Let's see. Yes, we are live. All right, we are good to go. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go through every single one of the app leaks, photos, or whatnot, and I'm just going to give my opinion on them, what I think about them, and let's talk about where Apple Vision Pro could go based off of some of the apps that we see. Now, I've been following this guy, M1 Astra. He's just been blasting us with picture after picture, photo after photo. So we are going to sit here and go through these one by one. So here's the first thread here. And the post here is, here's some clock apps for the Vision Pro. I'll be honest, I didn't even think about the clock or anything on the Vision Pro, but apparently some other people did. So this is called Clock Mini. And as we look at some of the photos here, obviously you have your, AR look here. There's the room in the background, and here's a clock. I don't know if it's a widget. I don't know if it's something that you can place somewhere else, but this is how it's supposed to look when you are looking through the Vision Pro. We also have another image here where you have your multiple world clocks. So this is kind of similar when you're on your iPhone or on your iPad, you have, stuff like this. Like I said, usually you use this as a widget. So maybe this is a widget or maybe it's a full app, but we're just seeing a preview of how this stuff is supposed to look. Now, we've seen images like this before, but we haven't really seen them like fully in depth to the point that we can actually start really breaking these down. So there's another slide here. As you guys can see, you have some more options to kind of, choose from, other things you can do. We're seeing, you can convert this to something. You can open this in another window. You can change clock faces. So there's going to be some, extra stuff that you can do there. I think this is where you're starting to blend the spatial computing part and some of like the iOS, iPad stuff, because a lot of people are thinking, okay, it's just going to be replicating what's on iOS and iPad OS, but you're starting to see a little bit of a mix of that computing part come in. And then here's the final image here. I'll be honest, not completely blown away by a clock, but it does look nice. It does look better than, what I kind of had in my mind, because honestly, for a lot of stuff, you really only had your imagination to go off of. So if you keep going down, there's like a whole thread that goes through this stuff. So we have Timely, the spatial clock. It's another clock. I guess if you want to take a clock and just throw it somewhere up in your vision or whatnot, I don't know if this was something that an independent person made, and it kind of looks it looks a little weird and a little cheap, but hey, you know what? You got developers making stuff, so this is the beginning. So it doesn't always look, beautiful or anything like that. So yeah, this is what we have here. This is I guess you could put an alarm clock up in the right corner, and you can also, when you're taking these apps and you're putting them to the side, they seem to kind of like contour with your view. So they're not going to be these apps that kind of stick straight out. They're going to kind of have that horizon bending effect to it. Now, under this, I have no idea. Funiki? I don't know. But we're looking at these apps. Maybe these are like some lifestyle stuff. Once again, you're in a house, living room, and this is AR, but this is going to have like some depth to it. So you're seeing some circles. I have no idea what these circles mean, but hey, they look pretty cool. This part right here is actually kind of interesting because I'll see if we can zoom in a little bit. So if we look in here, we have our settings for some things. We can control the transparency level of some of these like AR elements or widgets or whatever you want to call them. And this kind of gives me like vibes more towards, if anybody has like RGB color lights, like right now, the color light I have behind me isn't RGB. It's just a fixed purple light. If you had an RGB light and you wanted to like change the settings to it, but you wanted to see those settings on the screen while the light is turning the color, I think that's kind of a cool thing to do as well. I mean, honestly, I've had LifeX bulbs, so I would look at my phone and I would do it. But if I'm wearing the Vision Pro and I'm like, hey, I want to change this, I want to adjust that, and I'm seeing this happen on screen, that's kind of like a cool thing. So something different to kind of look at, kind of a cool thing. But let's go back here, and we are going to go through some more stuff, and we're just going to keep on going. So we come down, we look a little bit more, scroll past the ads. Now, this is an interesting one because I did talk about this before about being in certain places where, you might be missing out on certain things. Sunlight, for example. So up here in Cleveland and in other parts of like the upper north of the U.S., there's been a lot of snow. There's been a lot of gloomy skies. There's been a lot of like, haven't seen the sun for a while. And if you go even further north, for the people that live in Alaska, they'll go like 30 days or something like that without seeing the sun at all. 100% pitch black. So this is kind of like an interesting thing here where, hey, missing sunlight, you can basically see artificial sunlight, or, this is kind of going back to the whole immersion thing, seeing different environments and stuff like that. But this is more, I think is more towards like, focusing on meditation and relaxation and stuff like that. So what we have here is focus, sleep, relax app for the Apple Vision Pro. Description: bathe in soothing light and sound. New audio visual wellness experience from Endel. Lack of natural light can cause low energy and mood. Endel Realms is a series of experiences designed to promote light exposure. So, yeah, that's kind of just, tapping into the, hey, you might need to see some sunlight. You might need to see some different scenery. You might need to be able to look beyond that cubicle that you're stuck at, or God forbid, if you're up in Alaska and ain't got no sunlight, you can see some of this sunlight. So let's go ahead and see how this looks, right? Oh, we have another quote here. Just 5 minutes in one of the realms can help you recharge your batteries using restorative light and sound wherever you are at whatever time of day. Gotcha. So this is just basically what we have here. You can get a daily light bath. So these are all the things that are like tapping into the brain, into the mind, and stuff like that. I'm willing to try it out. I'll give it a shot. I have a little bit of skepticism, but hey, I will give it a shot to see how it works. They got portals and they got screens and all this different stuff. You got the ocean glow. I honestly would prefer to actually see the actual, like, videos of an ocean or pictures or maybe even cars going past or something like that. But that's what they're showing here in the app. So if we go down a little bit further, we start to see some more screens here where we're going into the app and basically how it's going to look. So it's blurring out your entire environment. So you're only focusing on this app and you have this here. Now, this is a very cool looking image of a bunch of circles and ambiance and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure once you're in the Vision Pro and this looks a little bit more 3D than instead of just like a flat image, these are things that, like I said, I'd be willing to try it out, see how it works. We got 5 minutes, we got 15 minutes that you could spend in there. And when I'm really thinking about it, that's kind of a cool way to kind of just zone out. And I know it sounds a little bit weird to some people, but sometimes you just need to zone out just a little bit. And it doesn't look like there's any visible timers or anything. It's just, hey, focus on this for 5 minutes. Let your brain relax, let things go, and just legit just roll from there. So honestly, I think that looks pretty dope. That looks pretty cool. It's going to look even better in the resolution that they're supposed to be putting out. So yeah, everybody else is reacting to that. And yeah, we kind of covered those images there. So moving right along, like this dude's got all of the posts, all of the images. So next one coming down is, what is this called? This is Explored. I almost read that the wrong way, but it's called Explored for the Apple Vision Pro. So right now, let's say I don't know why you would do this in your kitchen, but right now they're in the kitchen, but you're able to see locations and structures in a 3D space, and you can rotate this stuff around and look at different things. And that's kind of a cool thing. And this kind of like leads to like the whole like education part. Obviously this is very early, very first stage type of thing. I'm not saying that we're going to just be going out and putting $3,500 headsets on kids, but this is where we can kind of go from here, because the current medium is to, go look at a 2D screen and then go look at Google Maps and then look at it. Now, even though you do have some AR capabilities with your phone, it's very different when you're looking straight at it, straight on with your own eyes. Going through some more photos here, we got basically a picture of a church in a cathedral and looking around, full 3D environment. Yeah, I already know someone's going to tell me, yes, you can already do this in the Meta Quest or whatnot. So we're going to have to see how high resolution or how good this is actually going to look in the actual product itself, because obviously you can kind of look at this stuff and say, hey, there's gaming graphics out there that probably look better than this, but still it's a way for you to go in and look at different places and stuff like that. Let me go ahead and check back up on the chat, because I think somehow my chat broke, because I have not seen an update for a minute. I don't know if everybody's just, watching along and just hanging out and chilling, or if I need to reset this app. So let me go ahead and pull this back up here. Okay, cool. Things are going here. So let me catch back up with the chat. Man, this thing was rolling. Kind of mad. No cool Apple Vision Pro bag. I was actually going to talk about that, because I know like there's like that whole Apple Vision Pro $200 bag, but I'm going to cover that in a bit. Michael Peppertech says, why do I imagine someone living in a place where they don't have anything other than the bare minimum as far as furniture, using mixed reality for everything else? I could see that happening for people that just want to be minimal. So for anybody that's out there that, they're a part of minimalism, they want to, shrink down on stuff, they want to have less stuff. If they can experience all of that, if the Apple Vision Pro could be their TV, it could be their monitor, it could be their computer, it could be their communication through phone or iMessage or all of these other things, I could see people getting rid of stuff, But one of the concerns would be is, the weight, how long it lasts, all that stuff. But this is stuff that you look at down the road, like of what it could turn into. Right now, we're looking at the product for what it is today, what the possibilities are. But that is definitely a interesting one right there. Greetings to everybody else that's coming through. So I think we got Big Pontiac. What's going on? We also got, let's see, is that Andreas? I hope the same interface look coming to Mac OS and iOS. Maybe. I mean, who knows? So a lot of this stuff is, some of these are apps that are designed for Vision Pro, and some of these other apps were apps that are already made that will also work in Vision Pro. But it doesn't necessarily specify which is which. So I'm kind of just going through it, just reacting to it, seeing what I like, what I don't like, what I'm interested in, and just reacting from there. So yeah, thank you to everybody else that's coming through. Thank you for all the support. For everybody that came through on my video about why I was excited about the Apple Vision Pro, thank you. I know we got some new people here and some people are going to check out the replay. So, hey, thanks. I'm going to attempt to do chapters in this video / live stream because this is going to be somewhat long and it's not going to be as direct as my previous video was. So please forgive me on that. Going back to here, we're seeing cutout images. There's a factory here. There's different land going on and whatnot. This says Republic Steel, Birmingham, Alabama. So yeah, this is down south, and this is a top aerial view. So I'm assuming this is either Google Maps data, or maybe this is something that was just rendered itself. And they do have the links here to actually go to the apps themselves. So M1 did a really good job of linking that. So let's actually go ahead and check one of these out. So let me make sure that this is all showing up correctly. So for Explored, the company, it's a free app. This app is available only on the App Store for iPhone and iPad. So right now, this is a Apple app. This is a iOS app and iPad OS app that's supported for those two systems that are being shown through the Apple Vision Pro. So as we start to go through this stuff, we'll start to see and figure out, which apps are being essentially repeated, pass through or whatnot, and which apps are actually native to the Vision Pro. Now, I know there's a lot of concern about the Vision Pro doesn't have a lot of native apps at launch. And to be honest, I'm okay with that because it's a first generation device. Obviously, over the rest of the year, we are going to see more developers make more apps. It's going to be interesting to see what apps Apple decides to make that's supposed to be for the Apple Vision Pro. I'm honestly kind of interested to see what Apple would do with Final Cut Pro, because currently you have two versions of Final Cut Pro. Right now, the main version of Final Cut Pro that I use is for Mac OS. That's the one I love. That's the one I use. That's where like my little plugins and stuff come in. And I'm 100% cool with using that with Mac OS. If I can get the Mac OS version of Final Cut on Vision Pro, hands down, I will love that. It will be great. Now, the other Final Cut Pro that's out there is Final Cut for the iPad. That's the Final Cut that I really don't care too much about. And it would be interesting to see how that's going to work on the Vision Pro, because that Final Cut, I don't want to pay a subscription for, because I already have the full version of Final Cut Pro. So that's really going to be the interesting part in figuring out of how does Vision OS actually work. And when you dive down and look at everything, and for whatever reason, I'm tripping over my own words because I just have so many things going through my brain right now. But how is that all going to work? How is that going to look? Because I want to use it as a computer, but also as an extension of an iPhone, an iPad, or possibly not even needing the iPad or anything else around. So that's going to be kind of the part that we have to, dive into a little bit. We got Carl saying, "You're doing great. Keep it going." Thank you, man. I am definitely keeping it going. And just, like I said, sharing my thoughts, what I'm interested in. My Apple Vision Pro will be here next Friday. I have to go pick it up. But, hey, I'm testing all this stuff out. So Andrea says, "Thanks for your opinion." Hey, man, thank you. Andrew says, "Apple's philosophy is, quote, take what you currently do and make it easier and better to use. It's not about a killer app. It's about the next step in our evolution to augment our biology with technology." Kudos to you for coming up with that quote, or finding that quote, or, bringing it. I wouldn't have been able to do all that. I would just be like, look, Apple has a way of making things simpler, and you kind of just go from there. If I were to explain that to like anybody that's like not a techie person, like we can get super nerdy, super techie, but I'm kind of like just keeping it casual today. But that was spot on, dude. Let's see. Andrea says DaVinci Resolve will be in Vision Pro day one. So I've never edited in DaVinci Resolve. I think I downloaded DaVinci Resolve maybe about 3 years ago, back when I had like this like gaming PC or whatnot. And I maybe messed with it once or twice and then just left it alone. So it'd be something that, you know what, I would give it a try on the Vision Pro. Maybe that's a video. First time using or noob uses DaVinci Resolve for the first time in Vision Pro. And you guys get to see how frustrated I will be trying to learn a whole nother video editing editor. So there's that. I'm sorry if I missed some of the questions. I'm trying to go through here and do this at the same time, so bear with me. How many apps were available when the first iPhone was released? I have no idea, to be honest. I would have to go back and research that. So somebody answer that in the chat via Google. I think, if I'm correct, the first iPhone launched and didn't even have an app store. So you would have to look up and see how many apps came with the iPhone, just period. Let's see. Andrea says iPad version for Resolve. Let me know if I'm saying your name correctly or not. But okay, cool. I think that says Psychokinetic says for Final Cut, it's going to have to be streaming from a MacBook. I don't see it lifting into my workflow with the iPad app. Gotcha. And so that's going to be the other pushback that I think we're going to see from maybe some publications, maybe some video editors, maybe even some other creators, is because one of the things that changed on Apple's website that I believe it was where if you were casting, or let's say you have your MacBook Pro screen, if you have that coming to the Vision Pro, at first it was at 1080p, but then it was reduced down to 720p. And it's going to be interesting to see if that actually affects how people edit, visually, because you have people that edit in 1080p, people that edit in 4K, some people that edit in 8K. And essentially one of the benefits was supposed to be is that, okay, well, you don't need that 5K studio monitor, right? But what comes with that 5K studio monitor is that resolution. But then you have to go look into, the PPI and the pixel density going from a screen that's LCD. I believe it's either LCD or LED. Going from that technology to then micro OLED. So does micro OLED at 720p, is that as good, or can it be as good as viewing 4K on a larger screen with a less or smaller pixel density? So that's going to be an interesting question. That's going to be something I'm going to have to see, because sometimes we will get hung up on 4K, 5K, but then we'll go look at our phones and we'll be watching. Sometimes I'll be watching stuff in 720p. I'm thinking I'm watching it in 1440p, but for whatever reason, YouTube, switched down to 720, and I didn't even notice it was in 720 until I switched the little settings. So we shall see. It's going to be interesting. Yo, Front Page Tech, John, coming through. Thank you, man. Hey, John's the reason why you guys had that video the other day. So shout out to John. Shout out to Sam and everybody else for giving me that idea. Let's see. iPad version for Resolve. Oh, okay, cool. Let's see what's going through. The first iPhone didn't have an app store. So that's going to be the difference, is that the first iPhone didn't have an app store. At least the Vision Pro, as for all the jokes of the $3,500, at least it's going to have access to an app store. Excuse me. Let's see. Gwendolyn G says FPT knows, they did a video about it. The only apps were Apple apps. Got you. The Man About Tech says video mirroring is now 720p. Terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. So Apple's catching it for that. Like you can't come out with one spec and then switch it and not have people notice. So that's an interesting part right there. Yo, we got Detail Shop saying, I wonder if we will be able to jailbreak it. Oh my goodness. Somebody's going to jailbreak it. I didn't even think about that, but somebody's going to figure out a way. Somebody's going to figure out a way. There was like a fake Apple Vision Pro that somebody overseas had made, and it was supposed to be running like a copy of Vision OS or whatnot. So maybe we might start to see some like Hackintosh looking VR headsets or whatnot. So, hey, get Vision Pro for $500 with this Hackintosh or whatnot. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting as well. So switching back here, and let me go ahead and drop this other window out the way. So going back here, looking inside these rooms, inside these environments, look at stunning spatial views of landmarks from around the world. Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure it looks stunning inside of the Vision Pro. However, this is a photo that's been uploaded to Twitter. It's heavily compressed, and we're not looking at it in that 3D space. So it's hard to get excited for this photo because it looks like out of a video game. It looks like if you were playing, I don't know, maybe Red Dead Redemption or something from, the first, or like Xbox. God, which Xbox are we on now? The Xbox before Xbox One. That's what it looks like. But I'm pretty sure when you look at the full resolution and everything, it's going to look a lot better. So I know you guys looking on my end are like, man, look, this don't look impressive. Like, what are you talking about, Trent? Now, we do have a video down here along with an ad talking about dating and stuff. So here's a video. So I don't know if the sound's going or not. Let me actually turn that down just in case. But what is this, inside the Taj Mahal or a center or something like that? All right, we're looking up, looking around. That's kind of crazy. So it's going to look better as far as the depth or whatnot. But what is this? Is somebody doing this with a Quest? Okay, I think that's a Quest video. So that's not the what you call it one. That's not the Vision Pro. So maybe we'll have to see the difference between those two. Let's see. Andrea says the fake Chinese Vision Pro. It's pretty impressive how they copy the device, but not the software. Yeah, so I could see some people running around with that. Genosis, what's going on? Psychokinetic says that's for sending the Vision Pro video to other Apple devices. The MacBook mirror display is higher than 720p. Oh, okay. What else we got here? Church. We have a stadium. I don't know which stadium this is. Is this a stadium over in the UK? Because I've never seen this stadium in the US. This is over in the UK. All about Wembley Stadium. Stadium located in London, England, is one of the most iconic sports venues in the world. Here are some interesting facts about Wembley Stadium. So you have like the facts and the information behind there. So once again, this is coming back to the educational aspect. We have an actual photo in the corner while you're also viewing a visual representation of the studio. Of the stadium. There's some buildings in the background. We see some shadow detail. So this is basically showing us the view as if we were there in a 3D rendered space. So this isn't something where it's like Unreal Engine and stuff and, replicating like water shadows and stuff like that. Excuse me. But it's still a good base. And that's still within the Explored app. So let's go ahead and go back out. Now, here is the joke of the day. This is hilarious. There is a spatial calculator app for the Apple Vision Pro. However, it's a third-party app. So we still don't know if the Vision Pro has like a native calculator app in there. I need somebody to look that up right now. But I'm laughing at this because I'm one of the people that has an M1 iPad. And for whatever reason, Apple still will not give us a calculator on that thing. An iPad that you could spend almost up to like, what, $2,200 for like a 2 terabyte one or whatever, and still don't have a calculator app. So somebody came out there, they saved it, they did it for us. They put a calculator app in there. Now, if somebody can make this app for free, and this app looks decent inside of Apple Vision Pro. Apple, Tim Cook, any Apple employee that's looking at this, look, you have the assignment. This is all you have to do for the iPad app. That's all you got to do. I don't know how they got to program it or whatever, have it sit on the desktop as a widget or something, whatever. Make this happen, okay? Make it happen. I mean, there you go. Like, you got your Vision Pro on. Hey, you want to do some math? Then you're just sitting there, just taking your finger, pointing up at stuff and, hitting the buttons or whatever and doing the math, Because look, there's some stuff that who, SIRIUS, I'm not going to trigger her right now, but she sucks at some stuff. I think I asked her the other day, I was like, what's 13% of $25? And she's like, hey, I found the answer for you online. I'm like, come on, man. Like, really? You can't do that. So you got to like use regular numbers. Like if you say what's 13% of 25, she can do that, but you can't be like, hey, what's 13? Hey, this is $25.31. What's 13% of that? She'll just be like, I found the answer for you online. So yes, Apple, you have the assignment, give us the calculator. But it looks all right, you know? And the people who made this are calling it the spatial calculator. If this window will ever load. So while we are waiting for that to load, remember how awesome the first iPhones were when they were jailbroken? Man, imagine if the jailbreaking community is responsible for mainstream VR features. Oh, we're gonna see tons of like tweaks and people trying to, you know, break it down and find exploits, like good exploits, you know, and all that different stuff. It's going to be an interesting year. So, yes, this is Spatial Calculator from Danielle Lewis. Danielle Lewis, you are the GOAT. Thank you for giving us a calculator. This app is only available on the App Store for iPhone and iPad. Well, I'll take it on the Vision Pro. So we will take that. Let's see. That fake Vision Pro was shown on Unbox Therapy. Really? I might have to go check that video out. Craig refuses to give the people what they want. I know. And the sad part was I made a TikTok about that a while back, and it blew up, and a lot of people were like laughing at it or whatnot. And then I changed my phone number, and now the TikTok my TikTok account is basically stuck because I can't use my new phone number. So I basically got to start over all over again. But yeah, Craig Federighi, man, look, just go down, find out whoever's making these apps. You know, just like they acquired Dark Sky, they can pay some developer, some student to come up with a decent enough looking calculator app and be perfectly fine. Janosa says if Apple Vision Pro doesn't have a calculator by WWDC 24, Craig should shave his head. No, he's not going to be Air Force One if he does that. He's not going to be there. Gwendolyn G says, I think it's their mission to not include a calculator on the iPad. It's a travesty. It's been the longest running joke. But this is your basic calculator. It's not even in like scientific mode or anything like that. So moving right along. Now we have Vision Earth for Apple Vision Pro. Now, this looks a little bit weird because this is kind of giving you like this like fish eye kind of look. So it's not like the look as if you were there type of deal or whatnot. So what do we got going on here? So this is over in Egypt. We're seeing a pyramid and we're seeing some like of a, you know, floating window. So yeah, this is supposed to be a part of the immersion, but if you're looking at this kind of immersion, it's probably going to like mess with your eyes, your brain or whatnot. So I'm not so sure about that. Now this one looks better. This is downtown New York, in Manhattan. I've never been to New York, so forgive me if I mess up some of these buildings, but basically you're looking downtown. There's a little bit of that image stretch, but once again, this is a photo uploaded to Twitter. We're looking at it in 2D, not in 3D space, but you can at least see the AR part of where the window is sitting on top of everything else. So you could still be seeing stuff going on around you, and you can still have a map that's up in front of you. So I'm not sure if they're trying to say, hey, this person's actually in New York, or this is a virtual tour of New York to where you don't have to go there. So that's a little confusing there. M1 Asher does say Apple Maps doesn't have that right now. It's just the iPad app or something like that. This looks incredible. Can't wait to try it. This looks so good. Wow. I'm sorry. Sorry, but shouldn't that be round and not flat? Yeah, I'm kind of iffy on it. I gotta see it inside of the thing, because if I'm just judging the way it looks now, it's just like 2.5 out of 5. Like I can't hate on it completely, but it's not hitting like the amazing part. And the same thing like this just feels like a Google Earth camera shot, VR 360 around or whatnot. Maybe that's some of the content that we're going to run into. Like, if we come down to Earth, we got to accept that everything is not going to be completely fleshed out and everything is not going to be looking magical. But that's why you kind of go into this stuff and kind of see where this stuff is. Or it could look completely different. One of the things I hope that I could do is when I put on the Vision Pro, that I'm able to at least screen record this a little bit better, and you can kind of move around and see, and orientation locks off a little bit better. So, but once again, hey, here's your map. Here's what you're looking at. What is this, like the Opera House in Sydney, Australia or something like that? I think that's what it is. Not exactly sure. And then once again, we're back in the living room. This looks like the Apple Vision Pro simulator, and it's showing us the map here. So, hey, you want to go to Times Square, want to go to Mount Fuji, want to go to I don't know how to say that. Something pyramid, Notre Dame, whatever, you can use that and go from there. So yeah. Times Square, bro. Thank you. I didn't travel halfway around the world in the Navy and completely forgot about Times Square. Andreas says, what do you think about the spatial camera app? I got to take a look and see. I'm not exactly sure about that one. Looks like you can record spatial videos in other devices besides iPhone 15. Oh, okay. Well, I know one of the capabilities is that you're supposed to be able to record it within the Vision Pro itself. And please forgive any extra noise you hear in the background, because for whatever reason, every time I make a video, my kid decides he wants to get on the treadmill and make noise. I don't know why. So, parent life, everybody. Now, here's an interesting one here. So we have the Piano Vision 3D MIDI file player for Apple Vision Pro. Okay, so somebody down here saying, what? This is not Piano Vision. And one says, interesting. The app uploaded here is called Piano Vision 3D. So, I mean, we have like a 3D view of a piano, which I guess is okay, but maybe this is just a player and maybe you can watch the keys on the keyboard move. It doesn't seem like you could interact with it to where you put your hands on the keys and learn how to play. Although I think that'd be dope, though. Like if you could have the Vision Pro on and let's say you wanted to learn how to do the piano, instead of like looking off to the side and like looking at the video and trying to replicate it, if there was like an app where you could see your fingers, you could press your fingers like you're pressing on the keys. I'm kind of wondering how the feedback would work. Like, I don't know, would there be like some sort of like Taptic engine inside of the Vision Pro? I don't know, but some sort of feedback to where you could press the keys and play a song. I think that would be kind of cool. But this here, I'm just going to take it for face value. It just looks like a player. So it looks kind of cool, but then when you kind of read, it's like, I don't know. And so other people are coming out saying, is this the same as the Quest 3 piano version app? And one says, not sure. However, as I understand, you cannot play this piano. It is a MIDI file player. Okay, so you can't play it. See, you know what? I was getting a little bit excited, but now I'm getting a little bit let down. So let's see what else we got going on here. So we have Cut the Rope 3 for Apple Vision Pro. Never played Cut the Rope. Right now we see the game. It's floating in the, what is this, like the Yosemite background or whatnot, immersion mode. So you can play these little games, be fully immersed. You can definitely see that there's a 3D aspect to it with the mountains in the background and the snow on the ground. And this game/app is even showing a shadow under it. So that was one of the things that they were. Get off the treadmill. Okay. Come here. Come here. You were supposed to walk on that treadmill. You're not supposed to be on the edge. Okay. Go. You can get on it later. You doing too much. Sorry, y'all. Like, my kid almost just bust his head just doing something crazy on that treadmill. But looking at the apps, floating, little games, different stuff going on. Yeah, there's that. Let's see. Somebody says, I just canceled my Vision Pro order today. Why am I frozen? I am frozen because OBS is silly. Because whenever good Lord. See, this is the thing I hate about OBS. Because Apple, man. There are some times where Apple kind of messes up. So, you know, like those little reactions and stuff that go on where like if you press like a thumbs up or anything like that, it'll freeze this thing and it'll mess it up so badly. And this has happened a couple of times. So, yeah, this is ridiculous. All right, come on. Fix yourself. All right. Well, let's get past that part. And let's do this. So this is what we're going to have to do here. We're going to have to make this work. Now, let me go ahead and bring this up. Yeah, troubleshooting on the fly, y'all. So there we go. So let's go back here. Let's bring this down and let's continue to rock and roll from there. All right. So we have the game. Then we have the DJ app here, which is going to be interesting. So apparently there's an app where you can be a DJ, or maybe this is something that can actually work towards, you know, people who are actually DJs. Now, this part right here actually looks pretty dope. It kind of reminds me more of like the Meta Quests and stuff like that, but this is like a fully immersed environment. You do have your turntables down here, so it's going to be interesting to see how well the turntables work. Can you move the sliders? Is it going to be where you take your finger and pinch and then move the sliders with the eye tracking? Or is your hand actually going to show up? And we're going to see that part. We're scrolling a little bit more. I'm not sure if this is using Apple Music or not, because I honestly don't use Apple Music, but they got like a whole mix here and different things that they can do. So anybody who mixes music or DJ people, just let me know. You got your audio meter here with your gain and levels and all that kind of stuff. And then here, it looks like you can actually take the record and put it onto the onto the mixer and like the DJ equipment and everything. Now, the thing that we're seeing here, which is also interesting, is you're seeing the person's hand. So it's not a digital hand. It's actually supposed to be somebody's hand. It's taking the cutout of the hand. There's a little bit of a transparency to it. So that's really interesting. I guess that is the camera's going to work. And I'm going to assume that the company that made the app maybe have gotten a developer preview version of the Vision Pro, and that's how that's working out. Let's see. Vision Pro with AirPods Pro 2 while watching movies will be dope. Yeah. Man, I'm still upset because that I don't know when that screen froze, and I don't know how long I was frozen for. Detail Shop says, I think Vision Pro will be a little difficult since typing will be slow. I wonder how that DJ app will work. I am interested too, as far as using that and how it's going to be. It might be a little bit rough. Now, one of the ways to get around the whole floaty keyboard thing or whatnot is, honestly, it's going to be probably having a Bluetooth keyboard. So I could possibly see a lot of people just having like a little Bluetooth keyboard that they have that's connected to the Vision Pro. Obviously, your eyes and your fingers are going to kind of be like the mouse, so you don't have to worry about that part as far as mouse clicks and everything, because you do have like those, like 12 cameras. But as far as typing, I think a lot of people are just going to default towards Bluetooth keyboards. Being completely honest. Then we got the rest of the turntables here. They got, 2 tracks going at the same time. You got your fader down here that you can fade the music back and forth in between. So, yeah. And then there's like this. I can't tell if that's augmented reality graphics, like AR, or if that's just a video playing in the background. I don't know. So that would be interesting, though. That would be interesting, like if you went to a club or, an event or something like that, and the DJ could actually DJ in a 3D AR environment while also being able to see the crowd and be on stage. One, it already looked dope because somebody's wearing it. However, the drawback would be is like, all right, you got essentially like 2 hours worth of battery time to do this. So do you plug this into something else? Does something else provide like the power while you're doing it? Because I mean, what concert is like 2 hours or less? So yeah, these are all the questions, but it's still kind of like a cool thing to kind of see this. So as far as apps, as far as what I've seen so far, this has a good amount of promise to it. I give that like a 3.5 out of 5. I want to give it a 4, but I gotta see it for myself. Now, some more pictures here. This actually looks a little bit better because you're looking at this, straight on. So maybe this is something that might actually be a little bit easier because it's like on a flat plane. So you got your album art, music, fader, volume, pause, all that stuff. So yeah, this is within the simulator, so that looks kind of cool. What about being able to see your keyboard in immersion? That is a good question. I'm going to write that down because I do not know the answer to that. Because when we saw the keynote, we saw where essentially somebody was typing on the keyboard, but I never saw them look down. So I don't know if they were like touch typing, memory typing or whatnot and doing stuff. I have no idea. So that would be interesting because they were using the Apple wireless keyboard and they were using the Apple wireless trackpad. So definitely something I'm going to have to check out. That is a good question. Let's see. You should see your keyboard as you see your hands in normal mode. That's what Andreas is saying. This is an issue I was facing when developing my Vision Pro app. Oh, okay. You're a develop. Great. That is cool. Um, go on Twitter and look up Max Weinbach. He has like a whole group going on with like the Vision Pro and stuff. I'm in there. I know there's probably like other people and devs and stuff in there, but it's gonna be cool to like have like a conversation with you guys because as I'm learning this stuff and trying to, show this to regular people as well, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be learning a lot from you guys as the developers who actually got your hands on that stuff because I actually, you guys are gonna laugh at this because I'm in tech. I tried to download the what you call it. I tried to download Xcode and I tried to get like the whole Vision Pro simulator thing going. Failed a bunch of times, got frustrated, and gave up on it. And I was like, you know what? I'll just wait for somebody else to come out with it. So maybe I might give it another try to kind of see it for myself. But a week from now, I'm going to have it anyway. So we shall see how that goes. Let's see. Yeah, so that would be the other concern is, would you see the keyboard in immersive mode? So, yeah. So would you be able to go in immersive mode and work from the Vision Pro, like kind of block out everything, have your, the mountains of California or the grounds of Tahiti or something like that, and still be able to see your keyboard? Because if you're able to see your hand, and let's say you put your hand down, is the edge detection smart enough to go towards the keyboard? My guess, this is 100% guess, I don't know this. My guess would be if the Vision Pro detects that there is a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse that's paired to the Vision Pro, I would believe that whatever, if there is machine learning, tracing or whatever, would extend to that keyboard. If it was an Apple keyboard, if that would be represented within that vision. If so, that would be dope if they did that. If not, all right, that's something that Apple has to kind of fix later on. But if they thought that far ahead and that's a thing, yo, cool. Hats off to you, Apple, if that's a thing. Let's see, just register as a developer. It's free. Oh, okay. I think I registered before. It was like the downloading and installation and stuff. Like I got an M1 Max MacBook Pro. And like I said, I installed everything. Xcode was on there, downloaded all the libraries and yada, yada, such and such. But for whatever reason, I could not get that simulator going. So maybe I got to do some research and do some YouTube education myself. But going back here, if we look, once again, we're seeing pass through somebody's hand. They're actually reaching out. So maybe this is where this eye tracking kind of comes in, because if your eyes are locked in on this piece, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the part of the instrument here. I'll call it the scratcher. I don't know. As they're taking that part and putting it on the record itself, they got like a good grasp on that. So, hey, that's kind of a thing. You can take your hand and do that. You can take your hand, click, put it on there, and then let it go. That's dope. That's going to be turning. You even got a light indicator on here. I have no idea what that means for a turntable, but hey, details, right? Let's see. We found that, and let's see here. We found that an exclusion cutout. You have to use some kind of object detection for that. Oh, okay, cool. And then simulating daytime at night would be amazing. And I can't wait until the corporalize, if I'm saying that right, Siri into virtual butler. Oh no, I triggered her. Stop it. Look, anytime that they could make her smarter and turn her into like a butler or like a real assistant or whatnot, That would be really, really dope. But yeah, the cutout, that would be nice. Okay. This right here is something that already, if I'm looking at it right now, if I could just see it in the Vision Pro, I'm pretty sure it looked 10 times better. So I already like what's going on there. I'm a video game nerd and all that stuff, but this could be educational. This could be where instead of, now look, hear me out. I get it. I understand the argument that's about to come through. You're spending $3,500. I get it. However, look at it this way. How much musical equipment could you skip past buying and be able to learn how to at least do the basics with it without having the stuff? Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to do this with anything that's like a wind instrument. Like, you're not going to get a virtual sax and it's going to measure like how much breath is coming out of your body. Like, that's not going to happen. You're not going to do this with a trumpet, a tuba, anything like that. But maybe a xylophone, maybe some cymbals, maybe a piano, a DJ thing, like different stuff that you could kind of work with and learn virtually, not needing to buy the physical equipment. That's kind of a cool thing. Just throwing that out there. And hey, look, now we're in space. We are DJs in space. Now my brain is going towards, because you got like the metaverse. What if like they make like the Appleverse or the Apple Core or like the Apple Central or something like that, and you got like other people. I know this is gonna sound corny to some people, but I don't care. You got other people with Vision Pros, and you guys have a remote party, and you have a remote DJ for the party as you guys are all participating or whatnot. These could just be avatars, or this could just be a background. But hey, you know what? Let's all beam ourselves up outside the planet. Let's get away from like the news and drive-bys and all the other crazy stuff that's going on around us, and just party out in space for a little while. Wouldn't that be fun? Let's see. Not yet, at least. All that exposure paid for my trip to DJ festivals on the moon. Let's go. Hey, there you go. We got an update from M1 Astra saying Meta is planning to support spatial videos on Quest according to code strings that were found. See, look, this makes me excited. You know why it makes me excited? Because I'm tired of the Meta versus Apple Vision Pro like controversy, the back and forth. I want Meta to succeed. I want Apple to succeed. I want there to be some interoperability between the two, some crossover or whatnot. I would love to be able to record a spatial video on my iPhone or on my Vision Pro and send it to somebody else that has a Meta Quest. I would love that. I would not be the person that's like, yeah, I made this for Apple Vision Pro. Yeah, you guys don't get to see that. Like, no, that would be cool. The same way how people in my family have Android and I share videos, and I got iOS and they share stuff with me and we communicate. That's what it's supposed to be. So if that spatial video stuff really catches on, and then you can record these memories and you can share them with other people. If I could record an experience in first person through the Vision Pro, like let's say it's a tutorial, I'm doing something, I'm working on something or whatever, and I want to be like, yo, this is how you do this. And I send the video over to somebody that has a Meta Quest, and they can watch it in that first person and see it from my point of view. That's cool. That adds to education. Like, I'm down for that. That is cool. Like, forget all the tribalism and all that stuff. That's dope. Even going as far, I know this is out there. But even as far as, let's say if a teacher, let's say if a teacher wanted to record a lesson or an assignment, right, of, or an instructor performing an act or whatever, and they're showing it and they want their students to learn, like, hey, this is what it looks like from this point of view. And then you can send it to other kids with MetaQuest, other VR headsets and stuff like that, and spatial video supported. I hope spatial video comes to YouTube. So we got Neon Trip. This is your like 80s background and all other cool, crazy stuff. Yeah, we got 45 people in this stream. I am blown away. That is awesome. Different environments. Look, I'm gonna need some good like 80s music vibing in the background or whatnot. Yeah, I'm kind of showing my age a little bit, but I don't care. But yeah, some nice 80s music, some synth wave, some vaporwave, and just chill. So yeah, Neon Trip, music visualizer for Apple Vision Pro. So yeah, we could probably test it out with some newer music, some older music, and just see how it all goes. I wonder how that would all work out though. Let's see. This would be dope. I'll be excited for it. Yeah. Look, Twitter X, y'all are killing me with these ads, man. Jesus. Sixth app for Swift UI design and development. Swift UI Lab, augmented reality, open immersive space. Okay, so this is the first time I've seen like a tie-in with an iPhone. So we're seeing our iPhone up here, our dynamic island. I don't know if this is like you're developing inside the Vision Pro. Developers, help me out. But that's what I would be interested to see or watch people try or actually develop within Xcode within the Vision Pro. I want to see that. I'm just curious. I'm probably never going to do it, but I'm just curious to see what other people would do with that. Another app we got here, Game Room for Apple Vision Pro. So, immersive environment, you're in a game room. It looks like you are playing Free Cell. You're either playing Free Cell or Solitaire. I don't remember which. One of those two. But yeah, you got a nice little 3D background. You got some chairs. Got some other stuff here. I think the queen and the jack on the wall. And yeah, you're just playing a game. Graphics will need to improve. Yeah, from right here, it doesn't look impressive. But we shall see how it looks inside of the Vision Pro. Also, I don't know if this is paid or not. Yo, you can play Battleship? Is that a Battleship game? I think so. I'm down for it. Okay, cool. So you can play chess. You can take your fingers and you can grab the pieces. There's an outline of the knight. And it looks like they're moving from... Yeah, it looks like the knight's going from G1 and it's giving you the option to go from G1 to either H3 or F3. So that's cool. That's a little different. And then you see like the 3D outline of your hands. That's kind of dope. That's dope. It's been a while since I played chess. I was never like amazing or anything, and I used to just kind of like play for fun or whatnot. But that's kind of cool because I can tell you right now, I completely forgot about that chess app that's in Microsoft, that's in Mac OS. Completely forgot about it. Let's see. Just watched somebody's spatial video on my Quest 3 last week. Looks pretty cool. Oh, dope. That is dope. We got some more card games here. What is this? Which card game is this? I've seen this before, but I forgot what it was called. But it looks like you can have, multiple players. You got even like a little teacup sitting over there, spot of tea. Yeah, I'm going to get roasted for that, but I don't care. Coming down. So yeah, game room, hearts, solitaire, sea battle, aka battleship, chess. What does it say on there? Oh, yacht. That was the other card game. It was yacht. Gotcha. Then we even got a Lego Builder Journey app for the Apple Vision Pro. So apparently with the Vision Pro, you can do Lego assemblies and stuff. Now, I don't know how many people with Apple Vision Pro are going to do this, but this kind of seems like a play on, hey, let's build this up. Let's kind of show this off a little bit. And then later on down the line, when Apple Vision comes out, like the cheaper one, or like the Apple Vision SE comes out, and then now you can put this in kids' hands. You're going to have kids doing Legos and building Legos and stuff inside of this augmented reality, virtual reality thing. If they had like a Star Wars Lego set, like if I could, because you can't get it anymore. Like there was like the Super Star Destroyer from Star Wars, and it was actually back in the Lego store like a couple years ago. I wish I'd have got one, but things didn't happen. If I could put together one of those, that'd be cool, because I'm never going to be able to put one together in real life unless I spend like $1,000. That's kind of dope. People are talking about it. Now we need Minecraft. Could you guys imagine Minecraft in here? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Russ Rayner says 720p res is referring to screen mirroring from the Vision Pro, not from Mac to Vision Pro. Okay. Thank you for the correction. Thank you for that. So yeah, I'm learning here with you guys. I'm figuring out what we're going to be able to do with this stuff. Now, this is a little bit more immersive. Got like, nice little house here, a little setup going, little wind turbines and stuff like that. Floating island. Hey, there you go. Now this is full VR, full immersion, where you can set stuff up. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to play around with that. That is cool. Look, M1 Astra, if you're out here watching this, if you watch the replay, yo, you are the GOAT. I've never seen so much information come from one source. And it's going to be even crazier seeing it when I have the actual thing. So we're in a museum. You can look at art. So, yes, I know back in the day, people used to go to art galleries and actually look at stuff in person. But, hey, it would be pretty cool to go check out some other museums without having to travel halfway across the world. Like I got like one art museum where I live, but it would be cool to see like other stuff, educational wise. I'm not saying, hey, get the Vision Pro, stay in the house, never go outside, but it does open up some doors. I'm pretty sure you guys got some stuff like this on the Meta Quest 3 and some other headsets, but it's kind of cool to see this here on the Vision Pro. And so this is the stuff that when I'm looking at it and I'm seeing it now, this is where I say to people, this is what you can do with the Vision Pro. Because that's what a lot of people were asking. They were like, you know what can I do with the Vision Pro? What do I see myself doing with the Vision Pro? And to be honest, it looks like you can do a lot of stuff at the jump, and there's going to be more stuff that kind of comes on later. And honestly, to the concern of, hey, I can see somebody getting a Vision Pro and then they use it for a couple of days and they put it down and never use it again. One, for it being $3,500, I would hope somebody would not do that. Like, by all means, if you get a Vision Pro and it's not for you, and you don't like it and you don't think you're going to use it, return it to Apple. I'll be the first one to say it. There's no shame in it. Go get your money back if it's not the experience that you want. But if it is something that you are going to use, explore it and try out different things. If you're in it for the long haul like I am, there you go. All of these different things that you can do. Because the main message that was put out was that, oh, well, you're just going to watch movies in it. You're just going to watch YouTube and that's it. Don't spend $3,500 just to only do that. Please do not do that. 100% do not do that. I'm telling you that. All right. Hey, for our numbers, our number fans, our number geeks and stuff out there, we got this app called Numerics. Yo, this is kind of dope. You got numbers and analytics and all that extra crazy nerdy stuff going on, and hey, I'm here for it. Look, we got graphs, we got pie graphs, we got charts, we got data. Look, YouTube, look at me. Look, Renee Ritchie, YouTube liaison, pass this along. If I can get the YouTube Studio app to display information like this to me, where it's all on one page and it can float in midair inside the Vision Pro, give that to me. Okay, make it happen. You may not have to go out there and support the full YouTube app or whatever, and we can go to the browser and watch it. But give me this display of my YouTube analytics. All right. I know I'm in a niche market or whatever. I don't care. I'll raise my hand. I'll volunteer. I'll be the guinea pig. I would like to see that. Like straight up. Yo, Viper coming back through. Hey, welcome back, yo. Yeah, we're still going. We're still going through all this. It's so much information. So much information, man. Let's see. What does that say? I pretty much did that with the Meta Quest 2, and I still purchased the Vision Pro. And that's the other unsung group that we are not talking about because we're too busy trying to put each other against. We're trying to clash. We're trying to make these enemies or whatnot. There are people out there that own a Meta Quest and they're getting a Vision Pro. All right. That's another group of people. So instead of doing this whole tech elitism, this is my side, that's your side, like embrace the fact that we're all human beings and we're all into tech. Like we are in the minority. Okay. Regular people don't necessarily understand us. We don't need to be fighting each other. But yes, my kid has a Meta Quest 2 that he uses and that he plays games, and that's upstairs. So he got that. That was his present. That's what he uses. I'm gonna have the Vision Pro. I'm gonna try the whole thing to see if we can cross over and communicate and do all that stuff. This is all supposed to be stuff that's supposed to help us connect more. It's not supposed to drive us apart and stuff like that. That honestly has been happening with some people over the years. All right, this is gonna be dope right here. The Clone app. So these are shoes that are scanned with Clone. I'm going to tell you this right now. If Nike, if Adidas, if either one of those two, if I can go see some of these shoes in a 3D space without having to get up and go all the way to the place and look at the shoes and I can see what they look like, oh, life would be so much better. Because I remember, I still kind of do it, but for the most part, I'd look at shoes online and just be like, all right, here's a shoe from this angle, here's a shoe from that angle, here's a shoe from that angle. Go to Foot Locker, go to Champs, and then hope they have it in stock and then try it on. This would actually make me a little bit more comfortable with buying shoes online if I could see the full 3D render of it. And I could see it in front of me. I could do the immersion thing. I could see how it would look. Maybe I put on a pair of pants and I look down at my foot and I see the shoe. Or maybe I can like mix and match this with some other outfits. Like, I'm down for that. Okay. This is I'm assuming an employee that was scanned with clones. So we can have 3D scans of people inside of Vision Pro. And here is another artifact museum piece that was scanned through Vision Pro. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that stuff going on, scanning of elements and putting them inside Vision Pro and all of that stuff. Let's see. This is a Zeiss optical insert. So yeah, that's the box for the optical inserts. This is what the pairing code looks like. Okay. Now we're getting down to business here. Microsoft Teams for the Apple Vision Pro. I actually use Microsoft Teams at my job, and I use it sometimes on my laptop. A lot of times I use it on my phone. But yo, if I could put on the Vision Pro and I could work and I could be in the browser doing the stuff that I needed to do, and I could just have Teams just off to the side, that'd be dope, you know? Because right now, like, we got like dual monitor setups or whatever, and you know, that's kind of cool. But I would just like to have just like the Teams chat just like floating up there that I could just like glance over and monitor the chat, or glance over and just read a message and then keep on working and keep going from there. So yeah, I'm down for it. And then yeah, this is pretty much exactly how Teams looks. The other cool thing about it is, so this is the other thing I'm thinking. When you have dual monitors, when you have two big physical monitors, a lot of times what I have to do is, if somebody comes in, I have to like look around my monitor and be like, hey, how's it going? And, you know, yada, yada, such and stuff like that. Sometimes I got to turn my monitor. I got to move my chair, this, that, or whatever. At least with this is like transparent or whatnot. So you could be in full AR mode. You got your eyes going and everything. There's eye tracking. You look over, somebody comes in, starts talking to you or whatnot. And you can still have this transparency effect to where you're not trying to look around it. You can still kind of see through it a little bit. I think that's kind of cool. Maybe that's a benefit that nobody brought up. You know, kind of dope. You know, more information, different environment, looking at your calendar. Look, I can tell you this right now. The Vision Pro is probably going to be a lot easier on my eyes than the monitors that we have at work, because a lot of times you don't have a 5K monitor at work. You have like these 1920 by 1080p monitors, TN panels. They're usually pretty cheap. Sometimes they might be a couple of years old, and they just like wreck your eyes versus having something that's at least OLED with a bunch of clarity or whatnot. I'm gonna be able to read all this stuff so much easier. Because a lot of times I think my vision is going bad because we just have like bad monitors at work sometimes, like some of the older Acers and some of the older Dells and stuff like that haven't been replaced yet. Yeah, I know I'm like geeking out a little bit too much, but hey. Then here you got your Microsoft Teams, where you got all your different conversations going on. I wonder how this is going to work with the avatar. Like, is Microsoft and Apple going to get together and be like, yo, Apple's going to be like, hey, we 3D scanned his face. Here's the 3D avatar. And then Microsoft is like, all right, here's the 3D avatar of them. Or are we just going to have the picture? Going back to the chat here. The Man About Tech says, we like information here. We do like information. Everybody else coming through. Paul Revere says, I would love a news and sports ticker that can be placed somewhere. I'm telling you, man, I would love to have the main football game on in front of me and then have like a side window of the scores and the stats of all of the other games that are going on at the same time. Because look, I lived that life. I was that dude that, going back in the day before we had phones and all that stuff, when you would just be switching channels between the games. You switch to this channel. All right, man, you're watching the Browns and the Bears, fight against each other. Then you switch to the other game. Then it's the Jets and the Patriots going against each other. And you're just constantly going back. Like, I want to be able to watch one game and have like the stats and the score up there off to the side. And, get up, walk around, still have it there, maybe do some other stuff. Sky's the limit. Definitely want to do that stuff. Let's see, that's right. Great if you could see it on yourself. Okay, yeah, that's like going with the shoes and stuff. And personas will be compatible with it day one. Oh, I'm going to surprise the hell out of some people at work. Let's see. Live spades games. Oh, man. That would be great. That would be great. All right, so what do we got going on here? We got the strat. We got the chat. Lunch and learn. Yeah, maps up here, other stuff. So the other thing that could help with that is the work from home environment. And I'll admit, I kind of look at working at home as a benefit, but it also can be distracting. Like, if you got like some stuff going on around you, then it could be a distraction. But at least if you could say, hey, I'm working, and I can be in full immersion. Like, let's say I got to work from home one day. Let's say my kid's sick or something's going on or whatever. I could be sitting on the couch. I could still be doing my work. I could be fully immersed. He can have the TV. He can have the remote. He can have everything else in there or whatever and just do his thing. I'm still doing my work, fully immersed, not distracted or whatnot. Then if he needs something, he comes into view. I see him. Oh, hey, you need some medicine. You need some chicken noodle soup. You got to do this, do that. All right, cool. Switch to, pass-through mode or whatnot. Do that, AR mode, help him out. If I need to take off the headset, take off the headset, but it doesn't require me to fold up my laptop or, all right, let me put the computer on pause and all that other stuff. So I'm seeing some benefits out of it. Now, yes, there is the question of, are you going to be able to wear this all day? What about the weight? What about this, that, or whatever? I'm going to say this. I'm not worried about the weight for two reasons. One, I've worn a football helmet in my life. Anybody that's worn a football helmet, those things are like 3 or 4 pounds. All right. So if you're wearing one of those for a significant amount of time, you are not blinking at 600 grams or whatever. Okay. 2, anyone that's worn a motorcycle helmet, automatically you're probably going to put on a Vision Pro and be like, yo, this is light work. Okay. So I'm not worried about those two things, but it's still going to be interesting to see how you use it throughout the day. And here's the other thing that I honestly believe is going to be the thing that offsets it. I believe that if you wear the Vision Pro and you lock your neck in place, if you hold your neck in place, you don't allow yourself to naturally move around, you don't turn your head, you just stare and don't do anything else, then yeah, you're probably going to get a neck ache or something like that. Then you're probably going to run into issues. The same way how if you sit at a computer and you stare at a screen for 2 hours straight and don't move, you get neck aches, you get body aches, you get, stuff going on because you're not moving. But I think naturally with movement of you're looking at the screen, then maybe you look down and look at your phone, or you turn around and you do something different. You do anything else besides be a robot and just do that for like 2 hours. I think you'll be okay. Of course, that's me talking without having to use the thing, but I'm trying to think outside the box here. Wallpaper pack. Man, look, I don't know what to do with the wallpapers. I might hire somebody to make some wallpapers because I don't know where to go with it. I've made like some other wallpapers in Canva, and I keep like just looking at it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work. So yeah. I've used the Valve Index the past few years. My neck is swole. Yo, all of those neck memes, man, they came out in droves. People came out with the neck brace and this and that or whatever. Like I said, if you never worn anything on your head besides a hat and a hair bonnet and you lock your neck in place, you might have some issues. Let's see. I'm still curious about how people will use the combination of iOS apps with the laptop. There was a minor uproar on Twitter about not having multiple displays from your laptop. I missed that part. However, if I can put on the Vision Pro and I can get the equivalent of, I don't know, like a 100-inch screen, I wouldn't care about dual displays, to be honest. I really wouldn't. If it's coming from my MacBook, and like right now, I'm used to using my MacBook. It's a 16-inch MacBook, but the 16-inch screen isn't big enough for me to split the windows into segments to still see everything. But if I can have a 100-inch screen and I can say, hey, here's my Final Cut window, here's my Google window, here's my Audacity window, here's my other widget over here, and still see everything, and I can still see like the files in the background and everything like that, I'm cool. If it wasn't dual monitors with the pass-through. If I could increase that size and stretch it out, cool. Still got to try it out, see how it looks, kind of roll from there. Yeah, this is more team stuff. Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel. I don't really use Excel that much, but hey, from right here, what I'm seeing on there, those look nice. Okay, here's a good thing here. Lowe's. So I've actually done a renovation before to a condo. And a lot of times I would have to take my phone out. I would have to take a picture of the kitchen or whatever. And then I would have to measure, and I'd have to go to Home Depot, because obviously the pictures that you look online are just straight on and everything like that. There's not like that like 3D representation unless they just added AR or something. But this is a couple years ago. I'd have to go to Home Depot and I have to go inside, and then as I'm looking at the cabinet and I'm looking at my phone and I'm trying to line the two up, and I'm like, all right, will this work? Will this not work? Maybe it will. And I'm going back home and I'm looking at the kitchen again. I'm like, all right, I gotta make sure before I buy this and then bring it in here. Or let's say you're doing it with your wife or your girlfriend or your significant other or whoever. If you can then look at this stuff and you can see it as it's sitting up there on the window, and you can arrange different things and have options and stuff, that kind of cuts down on that whole, dread of, man, what if we buy the wrong thing? What if we got to take it back? What, seeing different colors, different layouts and palettes and all that stuff would be dope. It'd be dope. And not everybody's going to take an iPad and do that. And everybody's going to go, oh, hey, let me turn here. Let me look here. Let me look. I could put this on my head. I could be looking through it. I could be pointing stuff out. And yes, I'm nerding out right now. Excuse me. Let's see. Let's see. People forget about the multiple desktops with Mac, and you just swipe over to them. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Uncle Jesse says, fingers crossed that huge screen mirroring works well if they can't do multi-windows. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna have to test it out and figure all that stuff. Yo, 52 people in the live stream. I've never had 52 people in the live stream. This is nuts. Thank you for coming through. Also, thank you to whoever is still here watching the replay. So yeah, this is Lowe's. This is this is obviously someone's house who makes a lot more money than me because my refrigerator is nowhere near that big. But yeah, this is, let's say you're renovating a kitchen. I'm pretty sure you could choose like the color of the cabinets. There's a stove there. Here's your Samsung French door refrigerator cabinets. You got an island. You got a sink there. You got chairs. You could lay it all out. You could save it and have a view later. Maybe this is something that, like, just right here, just being able to take this and have a screenshot and send this to a contractor and be like, yo, this is what I'm thinking of and this is how I want it to look. That is so much better than trying to describe this stuff to somebody else and then be like, all right, let me draw it up. Let me come up with a plan and then let's go from there. And there's like a whole bunch of back and forth. And you're just like, hey, yo, I want something like this. It's at Lowe's. How can we go from there? Here's the list of materials. Make life easier. Once again, your list of materials. Here's the oven. Here's the refrigerator. Here's the SKU number for that. Here's the faucet. Here's the chair. Here's the backsplash. Like, you can really nail down and get real specific with this stuff. So yeah, you got different style boards. So you're like, hey, here's one design of the kitchen of how this could look. Maybe contractors could use this too. People have businesses and home decorators and stuff. Here, let me send you over some options of how I think this would look with different color palettes, and then you choose something, right? Make it easier on the customer. You got this view here that's saved. You got a chandelier here. You got this view with two different lights and different colors and setup or whatnot. Then you got this view with a darker tone or maybe even a different color refrigerator. Crazy. So yeah, all of that. I think let's see. Mark Gurman says, so far, about 230 Vision OS native apps are ready for release. That'll likely rise by February 2nd, but I doubt it significantly. There are new AR-heavy apps coming from Lowe's and J.Crew, and the rest are from indie developers or the entertainment productivity apps Apple has announced. Now, here's my opinion on the whole marketing headline aspect of that. We all heard that it was like Vision Pro is supposed to have 1 million apps and we're supposed to be so excited because there's 1 million apps for it. Then we found out, you're like, well, no, there's 100 compatible apps between iOS, iPadOS, and then people start getting down on themselves. And then they see this line where it says 230, only 230 apps. That's so much different than 1 million. I'm like, hey, you know what? Go in your phone right now. I want people to count. And the iPhone has been out for years. MacBooks have been out for years. iPads have been out for years. How many of you have more than 100 apps in your phone right now? And I guarantee you most people are all using the same apps. So I'm kind of fine with where we're at with starting at 230 because a lot of it's going to be more of the popular stuff with some other stuff kind of like just thrown in there like at the start. And then as time goes on, if things become more successful, you'll start to see more apps kind of come in. But I think we kind of just got hung up on that number and we weren't very realistic about stuff. Because I can go on my phone right now. I can tell you I got maybe like, I got maybe about 40 apps in my phone, and I only use maybe about 10 apps a day, if that. It's what? Pokemon Go, Twitter, Instagram, Google Chrome, the phone dialer. What else do I use? The camera, LumaFusion, and maybe like 2 other things. I can go in here right now and look at. I still got a damn McDonald's app. I got Control Center. I got Dave and Buster's. I got Sam's Club. Maybe use it like this is all stuff that I use every once in a while. And sure, like maybe the concern could be like, hey, you don't have that many apps. There's not a whole lot of confidence, but I don't feel the fear of, oh man, there's only 230 apps. Still a good amount of apps if you go through and start trying them out. Mastodon DJ Vision OS video. Oh, okay. Uncle Jesse says, unfortunately, the heavy hitters won't be there day one. Netflix, YouTube for entertainment. Yeah. I mentioned it before. It really didn't bother me about Spotify. I don't even use Spotify. I kind of listen to most of my music through YouTube, to be honest. And then Netflix, I'll just watch it through the browser. I was never crazy about the Netflix app. Now, if Netflix came out, had an app, made an experience, right? And had like the whole immersive thing and whatnot, okay, I could see where we'd be missing out. But, I just turn on Netflix and I watch movies. I'm just like, yeah, all right. If it's in a browser, cool. I'm used to using my Mac a lot more than anything else, so I don't know. I kind of feel like if you're spending $3,500 on a VR, AR headset and Netflix is breaking you, not financially, but just, man, it doesn't have Netflix. I don't know if I can go with the Vision Pro. Yeah, that probably. I don't think it was ready for you yet. But they'll probably do the same. They'll probably do the same thing. This is probably one of those things where Apple and Netflix and Spotify and everybody else, they just go back and forth playing chicken with each other. We're all like, oh, yeah, look at this fight. And then they eventually just end up shaking hands like, all right, look, you do this, we'll do this. Let's all go make money together and win. But it's still early. It's still something that has to be tried and worked out and all that stuff. So I see all angles of this, but like I said, I don't see it as serious as people are making it. Oh, Netflix takes a dig at Apple. Like that was like the news headline or whatever. I'm like, all right, let me check this out. And literally it's a news story. Oh, well, hey, Netflix didn't make an Apple for Vision Pro. Okay. What else? Well, maybe they don't have faith in it, or, that's a lot of money that they might have to put up to make for an experience for a niche amount of people. All right, cool. I'm waiting for the insult part. I'm waiting for the part to where this is all supposed to be doom and gloom. Just like, nah, it's just like a 3-minute news clip and they just like skirt on down to something else. And I'm like, wait. So the entire world got in an uproar about like just the most basic thing. For what reason? Let's see. They're probably working on stuff, but didn't want to release anything half-baked. That could also be true. Could imagine a Stranger Things environment or Black Mirror. Yeah. I could also see an environment for WWE since they're now getting on with Netflix. I could see an environment for Avatar: The Last Airbender, Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation, Northern Water Tribes, the Air Temples. That'd be cool too. So there are some possibilities going there. So, like I said, nerding out about it, looking at stuff. I think we're probably going to end it off here with the J. Crew app because we've been streaming for a minute and this is going to be a super long video for people to rewatch. So you have basically the, I guess, like shopping cart gallery. For those of you who are old enough, back when we had like these magazines and books that we used to look through for clothes and stuff. So you have that. You got your background. You got your, hey, this is how the clothes are going to look on a mannequin. Like, remember when you used to go into the store and they had the mannequins, and the mannequins would be like this? They'd be like in the little poses, and you'd like, you know, you look up, you see like the whole thing. You're like, oh, that's how they want you to dress. Well, you can look at it this way through Vision Pro or whatever they have at home. Obviously, you know, you got your add to bag, buy with Apple Pay. Got a little description here. You can see different colors. You can see different sizes. You got a whole sidebar here, whatnot. So that is for J. Crew. I have never shot with J. Crew. I just go to Walmart because I really don't care. But yeah, we see other stores. I think the other cool thing, and this would be more so for kids, is if like Amazon gets involved in this, and like Mattel and like some of these other toy companies, to where you could see like a full 3D render of the toy, and you can have it like in the space on a desk, and you can see, because normally you like got the toys and you see like the still picture, or you like see it in the box, but you don't see it outside of it. And then most of the time you're either watching like YouTube and you're watching a regular like 2D video of somebody play with it or whatnot. But you could see like a 3D version of it, how it's going to look in your space, or how it's going to look in your kid's room or anything like that. They could mess around and play with it. See, you know, that'd be cool too. I mean, sure, yes, you could always get the kids, get in the car, go to Target, go to Walmart, and they can play with it or test it out inside the store, inside the package. But maybe you got a kid who can't go outside, or other life circumstances come up. So once again, thinking about stuff beyond, oh, you're only going to use it just to watch YouTube. Let's see. Somebody said, yes, we need Avatar: The Last Airbender on there. Yes, we do. I'm a big fan of Avatar. So yeah, that was a lot of stuff. That was a lot of apps and screenshots and stuff going on through here. M1 Astra on YouTube, or not, you know, YouTube, Twitter, aka X. Go check him out. Dude is like constantly coming out with information over information over information. And this was the tweet earlier. Meta is planning to support spatial videos on Quest, according to code streams. Blah 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 blah. Immerse yourself in your favorite memories by uploading videos on the Meta Quest app. Enable spatial video in your camera settings. Upload spatial video ready. Your videos are ready. Your videos are ready. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Let's see. That's pretty funny when the camera app on the Quest 3 doesn't even support 3D capture without a developer account and multiple ADB commands. Will be fun to see Facebook support a third-party 3D camera before supporting their built-in one. But what I look at it is, so there's probably a lot of people out there who have MetaQuest and they have an iPhone, right? So let's say they do like Apple stuff, and let's say they do have an iPhone 15 and they can record spatial videos on their iPhone and then upload those into the MetaQuest app and then watch them back on their Quest 3, you know, circumventing the need to get a Vision Pro. Or once again, if you have a Vision Pro, someone else has a MetaQuest 3, you guys can share those videos back and forth amongst each other. I still think it's a cool thing. So, all right, y'all, gonna go ahead and wrap it up there, end the video there. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Crazy to see over 50 people in a live stream. So thank you for that. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all take it easy. See you in the next video. Peace.